They say that kid has got I'm bringing sassy back.
What's up, guys? This is Kage, and I decided that it was probably a good idea to make kind of a list of, oh wow, my hair looks like crap, to make a list of resources for trans guys, and I'm going to call it like steps. I don't know, I'll think of something to call it, but I'll probably do like a monthly focus, and that'll be like my monthly video to focus on stuff. So this month, week, whatever I'm doing, I wanted to do steps for your legal name change, because I know a lot of guys have been asking me, what is the deal, how do you do it, is it easy, all that. So I guess this is just, let's just get into it. So step one, the most important thing of all, you're going to need to choose a name. It can be pretty much whatever you want it to be. If you are comfortable using a shortened version of a more feminine birth name, like if your name's Christina and you want to go by Chris or Christopher, or Michelle and you want to be Michael, those are usually the easiest. But if you don't want to have that, you're going to need to find a name you really like, first of all, something you're going to want, because a name change isn't something you can just take lightly. You're going to need to decide if you're going to change just your first name, are you going to change your first and middle, or your first, middle, and last. I do have a friend that changed just his first and middle name, and he kept his last name. Me, I changed the whole thing just because none of what I had before was me. So you're going to need to decide the name that's right for you, and make sure that you like being called it. It was really hard for me to get used to being called Kage, but I also went by it for several years before I got it legally changed. Okay, so you've chosen your name. Step two, you're going to need to look up the legal name change laws in your city, state, region, whatever. Some places require, publishing in a newspaper. Some places require you to bring certain forms of identification with you. Some places require, other things. But I know that in my area, in Ohio, you have to, for instance, you have to publish it in a legal, newspaper before it's done. Okay, so you've looked up all the laws and you're ready to go. Now you need the paperwork. So step three is get the paperwork. You can either go to your courthouse, which is the courthouse for your county. For instance, like I live between Youngstown and Warren, but I'm in Trumbull County, which is where Warren is. So, well, technically. So I, had to go to that courthouse. So you go to the courthouse and you get the paperwork. Or there's another option. Some places do offer you can get your name changed online, the paperwork for the name change online. Well, my friend actually got his online and printed me out a copy. So I really didn't have anything to do with that part of the process. Okay, so you've chosen your name, you know your laws, and you got the paperwork. So step four, fill it out. Obviously, there's going to be a section that's asking for your name, your birth name. And then there's a section, of course, that's going to ask for your new name. So you fill that out. Now, don't be alarmed, but it's not that easy. There were 3 papers, actually, I had to fill out. One, stating that, I was putting this out there for the court to debate. 2, that I was going to get my background check done. And that I was releasing my background check to the court. And 3, why I was changing my name. And you can put a number of things. You don't necessarily have to put that you're transgender, but I believe that it would make it easier for the court to say so. to grant the name change for me. I mean, there have been names that haven't been changed, that's been, denied by the court. However, you have to let them know you're serious about this, because it's not just wishy-washy. You can just walk in every day, hand them a new sheet of paper and some money, and they're just going to change your name. So I put, this isn't word for word, but it's pretty much paraphrased from what I put, that Kage actually better represents who I am, and that I'm going through a legal gender change. So, this name needed to be changed. Okay, so you've filled it out. You have to file it. Now, where I live, it is $167 total. So if you didn't save all the money, you may want to go all the way back to step 1 and just do that all over again. So 142, excuse me, 142 of the dollars that I needed to pay was for the filing fee. So I filed the paperwork, and mind you, this is all like within a week of doing it. But you have to get your background check before they can give you a court date. So, and that's just here. I don't know if everywhere requires the background check. Again, go back to step 2, look up your laws. So, I had to do that. Well, what was really exciting for me was the first time I'd seen anyone else, legally print my full chosen name was on the receipt that you get. It's like about that big, and it's a little receipt, and it tells you your birth name, but then it says changing to, and then your legal name that you're trying to obtain. So that was really nice, and I actually cried a little when I saw it, just because it was really overwhelming. Okay, so you paid your filing. Now you have to get your background check. Luckily for me, the background check is done at the prison, which is literally right across the street from the courthouse, of course. So, you go in, you pay your $25 for that, and they just do, your prints and whatnot, and they let you know how it went by sending you your court date. But that's the next step. I'm skipping ahead. So, you get your background check and everything. And, I'm just going to edit that out. And, you've paid all that, whatnot. So, you're going to move on to step 6, which is waiting. Generally, after the background check, it takes like a week. Now, one thing I totally forgot to mention is you have to realize that background checks are only done on certain days sometimes, so you may need to figure that out. So anyway, waiting, it takes about a week to get your notification of your court date in the mail. Now, step 7 for your court date. So you've gotten everything done, and you've got the date to be there for court. Be early, be attentive, be nice, all the things that obviously you're going to need to do for court. So, like me, I wore, dress shirt, dress pants, and a tie, So I went in, talked to the magistrate, and the magistrate was actually under the impression that I was already male. She thought I was cisgendered, which was awesome. I didn't have to talk to the judge. I didn't have to go into a courtroom. I just went to do a little office with her. She signed the paperwork. The whole thing was recorded. And, that's that. So, your court date. Step 8, Social Security card. That's basically easy. You take the order that you get. You'll get 2 things. You'll get an approval and an order. So I got an order for my name change, took it straight to the Social Security office, and in 2 days got my new Social Security card. And then step 9, get your new name and all your printed identification. Pretty simple, either mail it or take it to your bank, get your new bank card, send off, copies of the order to other obvious venues that you're going to need to do. For your ID, take it to the change of your name, and your new Social Security card. You're going to need that to your BMV. Get that taken care of, and you'll get your new ID. And, of course, step 10, move on with your life. So those are 10 easy steps to getting your name changed in Ohio and more likely Trumbull County. So I hope that was really helpful, and I'll see you later, guys. If you have any other questions, please email me at this address. It's going to be right down there. Yes, right there. Okay, so email me at that address, and I'll try my best to answer your
They say
questions.
that kid is
Okay,
got
guys, peace out.